let's chat as I walk into Universal's City Walk here in Orlando, Florida about, man, if I could go to Halloween Horror Nights and experience it like in the best way possible, what does that feel like and why am I picking that? Halloween Horror Nights is the most popular Halloween event anywhere in the world. It is huge and people travel all over, so you better believe it is one of the busiest events you're ever going to experience. So if you want to come and you want to experience this incredible event and you don't want all the crowds, make sure that you're coming maybe midway through the season and during a weekday. If I was coming to Halloween Horror Nights and I wasn't a creator trying to make sure that I was getting that firsthand experience, I just wanted to go to fully immerse myself, this is how I would do it. I would spend a day doing a 3 or 6 house unmasking the horror behind the screams tour, because that just, if you didn't see my vlog about that, it's so, you guys, these tours, I can't even articulate. They're so great because there's so much storytelling and detail and fun information about Universal Orlando Parks as it is, but the tours themselves, they take you into these houses with lights on. They show you boo holes, so you see where characters are gonna pop out. The triggers they use, whether it's a guest activated trigger or a character activated trigger, like there's, and you can see just like the hand pulled latex that makes the wall look like it's peeling apart. You can see all the cobwebbing. You can see the flocking. If there's fake snow anywhere, it's just, it's so good. And that's a really great tip for someone who maybe doesn't want to participate in Halloween Horror Nights, but wants to kind of get some of those spooky vibes without being jump scared. You got to take those tours. The reason why I would start with the behind the screams tours is because I want to get that in-depth storytelling, all that information, and then I want to go into that house and look at everything I was told and appreciate it from that angle. I know people who feel the opposite. I know people who don't want to have the house experience completely unveiled to them before they see it, so that may be for you as well. Then I would do an RIP, which is Universal's experience for VIP tours at Halloween Horror Nights. I would do the RIP tour because, one, you're going to spend half the time as anyone else at experiencing everything that Horror Nights has to offer, and you're going to get a lot more in-depth storytelling as well. Not just on your way to the houses, but through the scare zones everywhere. And you're gonna get all kinds of really great, juicy, fun nuggets about Universal Orlando Parks. Now let me give you more details about these RIP tours, because a lot of people look at them and they get sticker shock because they are a hefty investment, and this I understand. You also need to have separate admission tickets for that night. So not only are you paying for the tour, which technically when you do that, you're covering the cost of the guide who's going to be around escorting you directly to the door of these houses. There's no waiting in line, and directly to the actual carriage of whatever attraction you want to ride that night. So you're getting front of the line access for everything. You're getting all of their knowledge, all their juicy nuggets, all the information that they can share with you, which, believe me, they are professionally paid to tell you as much as they can fit in during your tour. You're also getting food included. There are a whole bunch of snacks and bites and yummy treats, enough to create a meal at the La Bamba Cafe, which is where they're gonna bring you not just once, but twice, because you get to stop there to have something to eat. Free bottled beverages, I should say they're included bottled beverages, coffee, and then you come back again later for water or tea or more coffee in my case, and dessert. So you have food, you have all their knowledge, you have their time, you have that front of the line access. And I'm telling you, you're usually done within like 4 to 5 hours. Most people go through this event even with Express Pass, and it takes them the entire length of the event to actually experience all the fun food, all the attractions, all the houses, all the scare zones. Actually, I take that back. Most people don't even like push for the attractions. So it's just, if your time is the most valuable thing that you can have in the entire world, it's going to value that time above anything else. I know it's a hefty investment, but if I am going to go to Halloween Horror Nights and maybe I only have a weekend, I only have 2 days, I'm gonna hit those Unmasking the Horror tours, and then I'm gonna go hit a behind the scenes tour, so I just fully immerse myself in every ounce of storytelling that there is at this incredible event. And let me tell you something, there's a lot of people who don't realize Halloween Horror Nights has its own lore. It's not like they just get some IP and they license it and they make a house for it. They do that, and they're really great at doing that. So you have things like, you know, The Exorcist and Stranger Things and Last of Us last year. You also have partnerships with The Weeknd, like we saw year before last. This year they had Insidious, The Quiet Place, and they were some intense, awesome, incredible houses to experience. But the ones that the fans, the real diehards, really enjoy, they're actually one of the 6 intellectual properties that are created directly by Universal. And what's great, like Slaughter Cinema 2, that's actually a throwback to the original Slaughter Cinema, which was one of the most popular houses from the fans in years past. So it's just, and they just keep these stories going. They just keep intertwining them. They keep them going. And it's like every time you go back to Halloween Horror Nights, you're living through a continuation of that story. You're living through a continuation of another story. You're seeing how it's evolving. The theme for HHN 33 this year, the theme, you're loud. The theme for this year's Halloween Horror Nights for 33 years, all of our fears and our screams and all of those emotions, all of that has been bottling up underneath Universal Studios, and it just exploded. We have 2 icons this year, not just one, because when we have fear, it's not just in our mind and it's not just physical, it's both. They're 2 separate things, so it's a duality of fear, and we have sinister and surreal who represent that. It's been so much fun. I have been fortunate enough to spend the last 4 days here, and I've just really soaked every ounce of it in. I hope that you will cultivate an experience that works for you and just gives you all the fun, spooky horror vibes. Cheers, friends, and thank you so much for hanging out.